Hello, my companions. This is Earl Purdy, and I want to welcome you to a course in miracles, a course in how to think correctly, a course in how to think in such a way that you won't be driving yourself crazy, a way for you to think that you can not drive yourself crazy with worries and upsets and all of the things that we focus in on that keeps us from being happy. The Course in Miracles teaches us how to let go of those blocks to our happiness. The Course in Miracles helps us learn how to let go of the blocks to our happiness. The Course in Miracles teaches us how to let go of the blocks to our happiness. And we're going to be on lesson 56. We're going to be on lesson 56 today. We're still going through the reviews. And I've been appreciating all of the feedback that I've been getting and people sharing with me how much it's been helpful to them to focus on these thoughts that they can use that's very practical. And so what we have to watch out for is the Course in Miracles zoning out. So as soon as the truth starts, then there's a part of the mind that says zone out. And so try not to fall for that part of your mind right now that might be telling you to zone out as soon as I say anything about what we are about to talk about, which again is lesson 56. It's in the workbook, in the Blue Course in Miracles book, and it's page 92. Page 92. 92 in the workbook. Page 92. What did I say? Page 92 in the workbook. Because don't forget, I'm the divine repetition teacher, and so I'm going to say things over and over and over again, repeat, 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 repeat. Because guess what? That's what the Course in Miracles says that we need to do if we're really serious about learning it, is to repeat the truth to ourselves until we actually accept the truth as true. So it's not through analyzation that you get the Course in Miracles. It's through what? It's through remembering what it's saying. That's how you get the Course in Miracles. It's through remembering what it's saying and then doing the most profound thing you could possibly do. And what would be the most profound thing you could possibly do? It would be to actually practice it and put it into. Would you sit right there for me so I could be looking toward the camera at somebody? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, appreciate that. Or else I'll be doing this the whole class over to the side. And I would like to be able to.
You better look over here sometime.
Oh, I'm going to do it sometimes, but I don't want to be focused over to the side the whole time I'm teaching. Okay, so lesson 56, and in lesson 56, we are going to be reviewing 5 thoughts from the Course in Miracles. And the first thought that we're going to be reviewing that we can apply to situations so that we can maintain our peace is to remember this. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to welcome what I'm saying. Some of the things I say you may actively resist. Some of the things that I say you may actively resist. Some of the things that I say you may actively resist. And some of the things I say you could be actively enthusiastic. We can do that. That's possible too, you know. I always think about this saying that I heard a long time ago, early on my metaphysical journey, which was enthusiasm creates. And I try to remember that because when you have it, but I always just think of enthusiasm as always being like a joyful enthusiasm, but I've come to realize that it's talking about anything that evokes a lot of emotion in you. You want to go to a lot of emotion. Now, what are 2 of the emotions that most people tend to experience a lot? Anger and fear. Those are very common emotions. So what if you could take every time you felt angry and every time you felt fear, you could use that to your advantage toward attracting you everything that you've ever wanted in your life? That emotion could be used in a way that would benefit you. And so what we're going to do is to remember that some of these ideas you will find hard to believe. Some of these ideas will startle you. We're not being asked to judge and analyze the ideas. If we use the ideas, we will see that the ideas are true. If I use it, I'll see that it's true. If I use it, if you use it, so silently say that to yourself. If I use it, I will see that it's true. If I use the ideas, I will see that the ideas are true. Because the Course says something very interesting. It says the ideas will show you that the ideas are true. that the ideas will show you that the ideas are true. It's not saying you have to show yourself that the ideas are true. It's saying that using it will show you that it's true. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to use the ideas. And the first idea is that my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. 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 Your attack thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. Your attack thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. Your attack thoughts, your anger thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. Your jealousy thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. Your thoughts of lack are attacking your invulnerability. So what we want to do is remember that we're never upset for the reason we think, and we need to get honest about that. So rule number one is, I'm angry and I'm upset, and I need to tell myself I'm not angry and upset for the reason I think I'm angry and upset. So whatever that situation in your life, that person in your life that you're dealing with right now, do you know that whatever situation that's causing you any kind of anxiety, any kind of fear, any kind of upset that you are experiencing right now, be willing to accept that you're not upset for the reason you think, and you're going to finally get honest with yourself about that. So getting honest with yourself doesn't necessarily mean you believe what you're getting honest with yourself about. See, getting honest would be for me to use what the Holy Spirit, the higher power, is telling me is what's going on when I'm upset. That would be me telling myself, even though it looks like I'm upset for the reason I think, the truth is I'm not upset for the reason I think. Even though it feels like I'm upset with that joker for the reason I think, I'm going to tell myself the truth, which is I'm never upset for the reason I think. So let me read that right quick. He says, how can you know who you are when you see yourself under constant attack? So when you see yourself as being constantly attacked, how can you know who you really are? Pain. Yeah. Have you ever experienced that? Yeah. Illness. Yes. Have you ever experienced loss? Yes. Do it look like it's some aging coming down? Yes. And have you ever thought that you could die? That something could happen and your butt is out of here, right? Anybody in here ever had those thoughts? Yep. Okay, well, the Course in Miracles says that be honest with yourself. How can you know that you're an invulnerable child of God that can never be hurt if you think pain is real, getting sick is real, that you could lose is real, that you can get old and die is real, and that you could die one day? How in the world would it seem like it's the truth saying you're the holy child of an invincible, all-powerful force called God? I love that about the Course in Miracles. It says, all my hopes and wishes and plans appear to be at the mercy of a world I can't control. See, that's another honest statement. It looks like that my hopes and wishes and plans seem like they're at the mercy of a world that I don't have any control over. I have these desires and wishes and plans, but it seems like I'm at the mercy of the world, or it seems like I'm at the mercy of my boss, or it seems like I'm at the mercy of who hired me, or it seems like I'm at the mercy of my partner. So the Course in Miracles says, even though it looks like your plans are at the mercy of a world you cannot control, yet what kind of security? Perfect. Those of you following along with me, if you can be like Pips to Gladys Knight. You can be the people that's kind of helping me out, okay? All right. So if you're following along, then you should be able to tell me what the word is. Because the biggest trick about studying the Course in Miracles to me is not reading the book and not trying to follow along in the books, especially if you're serious about wanting to be a student of it and you want to study it and you want to master it. How can you master something that you've never studied, right? So I try to do my classes in a way that a person could listen to them over and over and over again. And you should watch it and listen to it at least 4 times, at least 4 times, at least 4 times. So then it says, perfect security and complete fulfillment are my inheritance. Okay, so when someone gives you an inheritance, usually it's a gift. Don't you agree? Yeah, if you inherit something from somebody, usually it has nothing to do with what you've done. There are plenty of people that's going to become millionaires because their wealthy parents died and they didn't sell one record or whatever, right? So the idea that you have to work in order for you to be wealthy and abundant, even at a worldly level, is not true. There's plenty of people that's wealthy that's never worked a day in their life. So the whole idea that you have to pay and earn is actually one of the ideas that the Course in Miracles is trying to absolutely help us let go of by constantly telling us that security and fulfillment are your inheritance. Do you know you should be what? Secure. You should be fulfilled, but it's a gift and it's not something you can give to yourself. So what does it say next? Tell the truth. I have tried to do what? To give my inheritance. What is my inheritance? Perfect security and complete fulfillment. I've tried to give my perfect security and complete fulfillment away in exchange for the world that I see. Okay, let me get this straight. God wants to give me, higher power wants to give me complete security and complete fulfillment. That's a gift that my Creator wants to give to me. But I gave my fulfillment and security away to exchange for a world in which I can experience pain, illness, loss, age, and death. Have a nice day, right? Right? The Spirit is telling us, when I said the exchange for the world that you see, that you've exchanged what your Creator wants to give you, what love wants to give you, for the world you see. He said, well, it's the world you see that you've already made to be your preference to security and fulfillment. Because the one thing nobody has here at an ego body human level is security. I don't care if you're working for a company, whatever you're telling yourself, there's no such thing as real security in the world. So this book is telling me, Purdy, you could be having complete fulfillment and perfect security, but you don't know it, but you have exchanged perfect security and complete fulfillment as a gift from your Creator for a world that it looks like you better try to get across Colfax Street as fast as you can before somebody run over your butt, right? I'm in a world that I don't know about you, but now when I cross the street, I try to make sure that people see me before I walk out because of distracted drivers. I no longer assume that just because the light says walk, I should walk. My point is, I don't feel safe here completely. I do not feel safe here completely. So then it says, guess what? I'm sorry, you're going to have a big budget. I have to do my own. Okay. God has kept my inheritance, what? Safe for me. Okay, so I'm going to test you. What is your inheritance? Two things. Security and fulfillment. Okay, so you mean even though I have made a world that I'm afraid in, my Creator is still going to give me my inheritance because it's kept my inheritance safe for me while I'm off into all this fear and conflict and insecurity. Have you ever told somebody, watch my purse while I go to the restroom or bathroom? So they were doing what? They were keeping it safe for you while you was going to pee. Okay, so the Course is saying the same thing. While you all are toying around in all of the fear and the anger and the loss and the upset and feeling like you're under attack and getting old, he said, while you all are dealing with that, love, that which created you, is keeping your inheritance of fulfillment and security safe for you. So you still, so no matter what happened in the restroom, you still can come back to your purse that's on the table, okay, right? That's what the Course is telling us right now. Says even though you're in a world that seems to frighten you and make you unhappy sometimes, that you've actually exchanged for the world that your Creator could have given you, which would be full of fulfillment and security, while you all are dallying around in what you think is going to make you happy. It never makes you happy. It never really works out. I'm holding your safety and fulfillment for you. And guess what? my own real thoughts can teach me what my inheritance is. Okay, let's go back. Do you know that, okay, your inheritance of peace and fulfillment, security and fulfillment has been kept for you, but you need to let your real thoughts keep telling you what your real inheritance is. See, sometimes I think my inheritance of what's going to make me happy is something outside of myself, or some person outside of myself, or some circumstance outside of myself. Anybody in here ever done that? Believe that it was going to be something or someone outside yourself that was going to make you happy? Mm-hmm. So the Course is telling me, no, I need to use my real thoughts, because my real thoughts are going to say, you know what? You deserve total and complete perfect security, and you deserve perfect fulfillment. You need some thoughts to keep telling you that I deserve safety, I deserve fulfillment. My own real thoughts will say, I'm worthy of safety, I'm worthy of security. My real thoughts would say, you are loved, I am loving, I am lovable, I have the gift of security and fulfillment that my Creator is giving me and saving for me until I stop mucking around in all of my fantasies and fears and projections that I think is going to make me happy. All right? So as I was working through this, so I want you to know you've come to the right class. You've come to the right class today if you've ever been mad at somebody and then found out that, you really were mad at something else and about something else other than what you thought you were mad about. So don't think you're mad because DoorDash didn't bring the hot sauce. That means you're not upset for the reason that you think you are. And so you ask yourself, how can I stop faking? How can I stop faking? How can I stop faking and be honest with myself? Well, one day I'll get to the point of, I'm upset. That means that it's not for the reason I think I am. I'm going to go straight to that. Oh, I'm mad at them. Oh, but it's not for the reason I think I'm mad at them. Your mind will actually do that one day. You will be using your real thoughts. And the Course in Miracles it is a reflection of your real thoughts. Not the world's thoughts, but your thoughts, right? So what we want to do then, right now, have you been in a situation where you've been upset with somebody and you realize that it really wasn't even about them? Mm-hmm. Right. So you want to say, well, I don't need to believe this idea. I don't need to accept this idea. But that doesn't have anything to do with the truth of this idea. I don't have to believe that I'm never upset for the reason I think. See, I realize the Course in Miracles is just telling me the truth. It's just saying, this is the way it is. No, it's not. I don't believe it. Prove it to me. I don't understand it. Prove to me. And the book is like going, no, I'm going to tell your butt the way it is. This is the way it is, whether you like it or not. This is the way it is, whether you believe it or not. Is your own attack thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. Your anger and upset is what's keeping you broke and keeping you alone and keeping you upset. And you're the one that's making that up, and it looks like you're at the mercy of everything and everybody around you. But don't worry about it, because that which created you has kept the things that make you safe and the things that make you feel fulfilled. I'm holding on to it for you. See, I love that. I love that.
That's great news.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to it
for you. I'm holding on to it for you till you get through playing around in fear and anger and upset and sadness, right? Yeah. And so then the question comes, and this is really a deep and profound question. Have you ever been in the kitchen or somewhere and found yourself fighting with somebody in your mind?
In the shower.
Right. You're upset with somebody have you ever, when you talk with questions, it hooks the mind. Have you ever been in a situation that you were upset with somebody that wasn't there? Yeah. They actually weren't not even. Every time I try to go back to how my father could have been different, especially on Father's Day, right? Then I'm attacking myself if I don't like what I'm thinking about somebody that's not there. So it's my attack thoughts, my fear thoughts that are making me feel weak. And that's what it means by attacking my invulnerability. Because sometimes that word is kind of like overwhelming. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. My attack thoughts are attacking my safety. My attack thoughts are attacking my safety, my knowing my power, me thinking that I'm strong. All those thoughts are attacking it. So what we want to do is to tell ourselves, I'm attacking my own peace. And so I get ready to get upset with somebody. I go, oh man, I don't want to attack my own peace because of them. I don't want to attack my peace because of them. I don't want to lose my peace because of them. I don't want to lose my peace because of them. And how I know I'm doing that? Because I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking about them, and while I'm thinking about how they've hurt me, guess what? My safety and my fulfillment and my happiness are being kept safely for me by love, by God. So no matter what you're going through in your life right now, no matter how fearful it may be or unhappy the situation you're in, I'm holding your safety like you asking somebody to hold your purse when you go to the bathroom. God is saying to us, while you all are dancing around in plans that you've made up that never really satisfy you, getting upset with people who aren't really there, let me tell you the truth. So here it goes. If I attack, I lose my peace. I'll say it again. You want to, those of you who are taking notes, you might want to use this as a divine repetition. Okay, here we go. If I attack, I lose my peace. If I attack, I lose my peace. If I attack, I lose whose peace?
Mine.
Okay, so can I say it this way? If you attack, you lose your peace. If you attack, you lose your peace. My strength comes when I release. When I attack, I lose my peace. My strength returns when I release. When does your strength return? When you release. Release that upset that I have that's attacking me about a person that's not even there. You follow that? My father isn't here in the physical body. My father isn't here in the physical body. So every time I take 1 minute to just focus in on the pain or the loss that I think I went through because of my father, what I'm really seeing is a perception I'm making up, which the Course calls the world I made. And then it's coming right behind it and saying, but guess what? Even though you're off in that anger and upset, there's another part of you called God that is keeping your peace and your inheritance safe for you until you start to use your own real thoughts. And your own real thoughts would be, let me give you a good example of your own real thoughts. The real thought would say, if I attack, I lose my peace. Your real thoughts would say, my strength returns when I release. Your real self would say, no one's harming me but me. No one is hurting me but me. No one is hurting me but me. No one is hurting you but you. No one is hurting you but you. No harm. So when people hear stuff like that, is that the truth? Is that the truth?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, then the Course says we don't want to accept the truth. Guess why? Because he says we think the truth is treacherous and it would hurt us. Right? Don't you know some people who would get upset if you told them the only person that's hurting you in your relationship is you? Have you seen them? Okay, that's a person who thinks the truth is treacherous. That's a person who thinks if you accept the truth, somehow it's going to hurt you. So that's what the Course says is the problem. That's our plan. Oh, I don't want to accept that. So I'm going to make up my own plan for happiness. And so I need to understand nobody's harming me but me. And when I forgive, I set us free. When you forgive, now notice this, when you forgive, you set us free.
Right.
See, because when I'm thinking crazy about you, thinking something nutty about you, something I don't like about you, then when I change my mind because I want my fulfillment, security, and peace, because I'm going to change my mind, because my real thought's going to say, that's attacking your own invulnerability. That thought is hurting you. Nobody can hurt you but you. See, it's telling us how to tell what our real thoughts would say versus what the lie in us would say. That's the whole purpose of the Course in Miracles, is to teach us the difference between love and fear. to teach us the difference between what's true and what's not. That's the course, that's its whole purpose, because the ones you know the difference between what's real and what's not, you don't need any help. Because if I recognize what's real, I'm immediately go to that. But I need to be able to tell the difference, because sometimes I thought people loved me and it turned out it wasn't real.
Really?
Yeah, that's just between us. Everybody watching, this is just between us, okay? Yeah, because I thought love was jealousy, possessive, controlling someone else, limiting what they do. So I thought that love was sacrifice. I thought love was getting people to do what they don't necessarily want to do. And the more you do what you don't really want to do because you're trying to please me, the more you love me. But the truth is, I'm asking you to sacrifice your happiness for me. God, so a person who knows their real thoughts would go, I never want to be in a relationship where a person wants me to give up my happiness all the time in order to please them. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Then you would know that was one of your own real thoughts. And that's how you get back to your seat at the table where your valuables are being kept safely. The Course is saying this is how you get to that safety and that inheritance that I've been promising you that you threw away for the plan you were making up. Oh, man. I swear.
We need to turn the fan on you, Purdy.
I was wondering what happened to it. Is it on? Is the air even on?
You're just hot.
You getting hot.
Earl, when you say that to yourself, but you still get stuck in that loop, that's that readiness is a mastery.
That's exactly right. That's right. Every time I get upset with myself for not being able to do what I say I'm trying to learn to do, I see how insane it is. I'm trying to learn how to fly a airplane, so now I get upset with myself because I can't get in the airplane and fly it. Yeah. Just because I said I will forgive. I forgive you doesn't necessarily mean that I really, really, really forgive you. I'm practicing forgiving you. I'm practicing trying to see it another way. And so people go, well, why is that so hard to do? And the Course in Miracles said to me, whenever you're unwilling to do something, it will seem difficult. That's right. Think about the sanity of that statement. If I'm not willing to do it, of course it's going to be hard. And so how easy something is achieved is in direct relationship to how valuable you see it and how much you want it. And that's what the Course says. The Course says, if you want to know how to create something, all you have to do is totally desire it. There's a line in there that goes, to wholly desire is to create. So when I think about how few things in my life that I've 100% totally desired on every level, it kind of made sense to me as to why it seemed like I haven't created some things, because how many things have I ever done really from a passionate 100% desire for it that's total, that has no doubts that I want this, no doubts that I desire this. So if I have no doubt, the Course is saying you're going to create it because you're a creator. We are creators. And so the Course is telling me, then what does that mean? It means that, this is really deep. I love getting the chance to work on these things because I learn so much when I'm putting it together. And, okay, so if my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability, then what's the next thought? Above all else, I want to see, right? So so what do I want to see? Well, do you know that recognizing that what you see reflects what you think you are? What you see reflects what you think you are. What you see reflects what you think you are. If what you see reflects what you think you are, if I see you as selfish, that's what I think I am. If I see you as undeserving, I am seeing what reflects what I think I am. If I see you as selfish, I'm seeing a reflection of what I think I am. If I see you as loving, I'm seeing a reflection of what I think I am. If I see you as fun, I'm seeing a reflection of what I think I am. So if everything I see is a reflection of whatever I think I am, then the most important thing I need to have is vision. I need to be able to see. If everything I see reflects what I think I am, then my ability to see correctly would be my greatest need. Our greatest need is to be able to see correctly. And the world that you're looking at witnesses to the fact that you have a self-image that's very frightening. So if the world I see reflects who I think I am, you follow me? And the world I see seems fearful, then that's how I know that I have made an image of myself that's frightening, because the world I see is reflecting back to me fear. And I'm feeling fear. And I'm feeling upset. So you know the Course just says the world that you're looking at is always going to be a reflection of your own image of yourself. I'll say that again. Hear me now. Whatever world you're looking at right now, and I'm talking about literally, whatever you see yourself as looking at in the world right now, in this moment, is a reflection of what you think you are. So you need to see. That's your greatest need. You need to be able to see the truth. Because if you want to remember who you are, what do you need to do? If you want to remember that you are love, if you want to remember that you are love, if you want to remember that you're not this frightening, upset, guilty, pitiful thing that sometimes comes out to try to control everything, if you want to prove to yourself you're not your ego, then what you have to do is you have to let this image of yourself go. You got to let the image of yourself of being not enough, fearful, don't deserve love. Any image of yourself that you have to let that image go, because that's how you remember who you really are, by forgetting what you are not. I got to forget that I think that I'm not enough. I have to forget that there's a part of me that thinks I don't deserve love. I've got to, he says, the Course says it right here. If I would remember who I really am, it's essential that I let this image of myself go. What is the image? The image that's an image of me having a fearful nature. So if there's an image of you that's frightening to you, if there's an image of you that's unsatisfying to you, then what you need more than anything else is vision. You need to be able to see things differently, because you recognize that what you see is reflecting what you think you are. You don't like what's being reflected to you, which means you are not loving and seeing you correctly. So that's why you see a world that's not giving you that love. So it's not really hard. He says, well, if you want to remember that you are loved, if you want to remember what you really are, you got to let this image of yourself go. You got to let that negative perception of yourself go. You got to let that negative perception of yourself go. So as you keep studying the Course, as you keep replacing those old negative images of yourself with the truth, as you keep letting that old image of yourself go, how do you let the old fearful images of yourself go? You let them go by replacing the old images with the Course. If that's what you say is your truth, you go, I got these negative perceptions about myself. I've got to let those perceptions go. Why? So that I won't continue to see a world that frightens me, because it's a reflection of the fear that I have and the anger I have with myself. Woo! See, I got to remember this. Notice that I'm not analyzing the Course. Are y'all noticing that? I'm not analyzing the Course. Analyzing the Course won't get you anywhere with the Course. What's going to get you somewhere with the Course is remembering. See, I'm trying to remember what I was just told so that I could apply it to myself. But how do I apply? How do I replace my ego with the truth? It already says it. The way you replace your ego is to focus on the truth. And then it says, vision will surely be given me. I'll be able to see you correctly when I let my untrue negative thoughts about you be replaced by the truth. So then when I'm thinking the truth about you, which is that you are innocent, that you deserve love. See, if I replace the thought that you deserve love with that thought of, I want to kick your butt, then I will no longer be perceiving a world that it looks like people getting their butts kicked. See, people being in a world where it looks like everybody's attacking each other is nothing but a reflection of the image I have of myself as being vulnerable, angry, and sometimes wanting to attack. So the Course is saying, all y'all are doing is looking at a three-dimensional mirror of your own image of yourself. And then people go, well, how do I get rid of that? Well, the way that you get rid of that is you've got to let that image go. Okay, how do I let the image go? Replace it with the course of the truth or whatever your wisdom path is. That's how you do it. You do what? I said again, you replace it with the truth. Then it goes, then when you do that, you'll have the vision to really see what's really going on. Now you'll be able to see, and how can you tell when you're finally really loving even the image you have of yourself? In other words, I'm not going to just love Earl. I'm going to love what Earl thinks about Earl. Now hear that again. I'm not just going to love myself. I'm also going to love my image of myself. I'm going to love my idea of myself. Why? Because the world that I live in is going to do what? Reflect what I think I am. So I'm going to give you a foolproof way to know if you successfully changed your mind and you're seeing with vision. You ready?
Yep.
The way you will know without a shadow of a doubt when you really change your mind is you'll be looking on yourself with charity. And you'll be looking on the world with charity. So how do I know when I have a really cool image of myself? How do I know when I have a really cool perception of myself? Then everywhere I look, I will see charity. People giving to each other, and I'll be seeing love. People joining with each other in total peace. So until I see that, which I don't see, I'd be lying through my teeth if I said all I saw in the world and all I heard in the world was charity and love. That is not true. It's not true. So I can safely say to all of you that I haven't completely replaced the negative self-image that I have of myself with the truth, because the world is not reflecting unconditional love and charity to me. I see some look like some crazy fools, broken into by periods where they go to the movie. You know what I'm saying? So I can sit up here and tell you all that when I listen to the news or I focus on what people are saying and I'm watching the world, I could lie to you and say what I hear is nothing but loving thoughts. Or I could tell the truth and say, I see some fearful stuff and I see some fearful stuff, but I didn't know it was just a reflection of what I think I am. So me being able to see is my greatest need. And so I'm just looking at the fearful reflection of my own negative self-image. I want to remember I'm a loving, good person. How do I remember I'm a loving, good person? It's essential that I let that messed up perception of myself go. Well, how do you let go of that messed up perception of yourself? Well, you got to give yourself a perception of yourself that ain't messed up. You got to give yourself a perception that's full of love. Oh, then that means when I truly do that, I'll be looking at the world and looking at myself with nothing but charity and love. So I'm not looking at everything in just charity and love. So instead of beating myself up about it, all I got to do is begin to replace what I'm thinking about myself with the truth. I got the Course in Miracles. That's my path, so I can go to it. Woo! Yeah. I love teaching best what I most need to learn, because that's exactly what's happening right now. Now, I want you to think of somebody that you have been judging. And could you say to yourself, I've been judging this person, but I'm willing to see them differently. I've been judging this person, but I'm willing to see this differently. Wow. Because above all else, I want to see. So above my desire to have a grievance with you, I want to see a miracle and I want to see some love. Above everything else, I want to see you more than I want to be materially rich. I want to see you right, correctly, more than I want relationships, to travel, new clothes, a new house. Above everything, I want to see correctly. And what's seeing correctly? What truth has already said. Well, when you see things with charity and love. So until I'm seeing things, until you're seeing things with charity and love, the Course is saying you're not seeing things correctly. What you are wrong. So it goes something like this. I'm mad, I'm wrong. I'm jealous, I'm wrong. I believe that I can't pay my bills, I'm wrong. I believe I could never have a loving relationship, I'm wrong. I believe I could be separate from God, especially, I'm wrong. Why? Because I've already been told that a correct perception And vision looks with everything with what? Charity and love. Have you ever been around people who love to give to you?
Yes.
I just experienced that just over the last week and also the last few days, where I was watching people who they were actually giving themselves joy because of what they were sharing with me. So I was feeling enormously grateful. It also made me feel like I do have some value, even though people say, well, we're not supposed to depend on that from other people to know we have value. We know we do. We know we care about what people think at some level, right? So what did that tell me? It told me, guess what, Purdy? Congratulations. You're beginning to really change your perception of yourself. You're really changing the way you see things, because the world you see reflects what you think you are. You'll see in a world where people are giving to you and feeling glad to do it, and they're doing it with charity and love. So you can safely assume, my brother, that you're beginning to have vision. You're beginning to be able to see. When I was a kid, I was into Superman. If y'all don't realize, Superman has X-ray vision. Y'all ever heard of it? Now, I wanted X-ray vision too as a young kid, but for all the wrong reasons. Is that too honest?
Oh,
Is that too, I forget. Yes. I just wanted to break that to y'all. I had some impure thoughts about X-ray vision. But the point is, the whole thing about X-ray vision is it's supposed to give you the ability to look past the outer. So when the Course talks about vision, it's talking about you being able to look past the outer. That I know the outer may say this is a creepy person, but can I look past the outer to the inner, which is I want to see in that person the same thing I want to see in myself, because I want to see and experience charity and love. And that's going to come through changing my image of myself. So above all else, I have to want to see. Then it says that the world I see, what is it doing? He says, well, the world you're looking at, that's the world that's holding your fearful self-image in place. The fear is holding your old way of looking at yourself in place. It's your fear keeps the old program in place. So the Course is saying the world you see, and notice how the Course talks in pictures. The world you see holds my fearful image in place. See that picture? The world I see holds my fearful image in place and guarantees I'm going to continue to have a fearful image of myself. The Course in Miracles answers every question. Says it again. The world I see, look, I have a fearful image of myself, and when I look at the world and all the things that seem like it could threaten you in the world, those things I think could hurt me, it holds my fearful image in place because I'm afraid. Being afraid is a fearful image that you're holding in place. Being afraid is a fearful image that you're holding in place. And so you're going to see that fearful image, and you see it on the TV, the radio, and what everybody's talking about. He says, but that's what's guaranteeing that you're going to continue to see that way, is looking at the world the way you look at it. So then the Course says, well, then you ask, well, what do I do? Well, while you see the world as you see it now, you can never become aware of the truth. I'll never become aware of the answer if I keep on looking at the world the way I'm looking at it now. I'll never get the truth about you if I keep on looking at you the way that I see you now. I'm looking at you like you hurt me, and as long as I want to keep looking at you like you hurt me, then I won't ever be able to see who you really are now. So the Course is saying the truth doesn't ever enter your awareness, because the world you see is a world that you are holding in place. So I have to be willing to entertain the thought that there's another way of looking at the world. You got that? I have to be willing to tell myself there's another way of looking at the world. That's what cracks the door open for you to get this new perception that would allow the truth to enter. Because the truth cannot enter a mind that's afraid. and angry. That's why you're afraid and angry, because you're not telling yourself the truth. That's what's got you mad, Earl, is because you're not telling yourself the truth. So the truth can't, if I want to be mad at you, and the truth is I'm just doing it to myself, then I have to be willing to accept that truth before I can actually receive it. So he's telling us, as long as I'm thinking the way the world thinks, the truth can't enter. Love can't enter as long as you keep thinking in a way that frightens you. The Course in Miracles, you don't have to get off the page, brothers and sisters. You don't have to analyze the Course. Stop analyzing the Course. It doesn't need your interpretation of it, okay? It doesn't need my interpretation of it. If you'll notice, that's what I said about following me in the book, you'll see all I'm doing is restating exactly what's already on the page, using the definitions that the Course itself uses. It's the Course that says, truth can't enter my awareness. It's the same as saying love cannot enter my awareness. It's the same as saying peace cannot. All those are the Course in Miracles definitions of truth. So he's like saying, well, why can't I be aware of peace? And he said, because you are attacking. You are judging. You're afraid. You're angry. So the truth can't get to you. You know that's the truth. We've all had that experience where we were trying to tell a person the truth about something, and they were so upset that it wasn't a blasted thing that you could get through to them, even though it was the truth. Haven't you had that experience? But the Course is saying that's what the Jesus of the Course is having with us. The exact same thing. That we're so upset, and this keeps trying to get us to not be upset, because it's only when you really feel peace that the truth can enter your awareness.
Amen.
Right, so if you're upset with me, the first job that we got to have is to cool down, to cool off, because neither one of us are going to hear the truth as long as we're fearful and upset. He said, because it can't enter your awareness. Can I give you an easier way?
Do it.
What's the next sentence? I would let the door, now picture this, I will let the door behind this world. So picture this microphone is the door, right? And so the Course is saying, all I want you to say is I want to let the door behind this world be open for me. The door, I want to let the door that's behind the fear, that's behind the guilt, is on the other side of the fear and the guilt and the sickness and the lack. And the key phrase is, for me. It says, I'm asking to have all the blocks and the blacks. I got a big black in the way. You know, instead of a big block in the way. But block would be just a fancy way of saying black in some other language. He's a block person.
Yes.
Okay. So the Course is saying to me, this is the answer, boys and girls, including Earl. The answer is for you to say, when I'm upset, I know the truth can't get to me. So I want to let the door behind this world be open for me. I want the door behind my fear and upset, because that's the same as letting the truth in your awareness. Letting the truth in your awareness is your being willing to go past the anger that you're feeling right now. So the Course is saying, I want to let the door behind this world be open for me. Why do I want the door and the peace behind this world to be open for me? So I can look past it. See, I got to look past you. I got to look past the anger and the fear and the grievances that I have in you, so that I can see another world that's going to reflect back to me the love of God, the greatest love I could ever experience. See, could you picture telling somebody, the greatest love I will ever experience lies past you? That's the truth, though. It's right. The relationship I'm having with you is full of fear and guilt and anger and upset. So the relationship I want to experience is on the other side of you. So I've got to go past you in order for me to see the love that I really deserve. So some people, you're going to have to go past them, past the block, right? Past the anger. Why? Because the Course has already told us. if you absolutely are upset, the truth can't enter your awareness. So if I ever want to have any kind of happiness in this life, I got to go past the fearful negative self-images that I'm projecting on myself and other people. But the Course is saying, and don't let your mind keep you from hearing this part. I would let the door behind this world be open for me. See, this sounds so opposite to what the world says. I'm going to say it anyway. You're never going to be happy by listening to yourself. If you're a fearful person or a person that's not experiencing complete total love and oneness, then your biggest mistake is listening to yourself. And so I know that's a bold statement. Well, aren't I supposed to be learning to listen to myself? Yeah, the real one. Absolutely, you need to learn. But I'm going to teach you the difference between the real one and the unreal one. The unreal you is afraid. The real you isn't. So I feel guilty. I feel afraid. I have some anxious feelings about something. Well, I know that must not be my real self. The part of me that's jealous and insecure, that's not my real self. But while I believe in that image of myself, what would we told? Then the world you see is going to reflect all that negative energy back at you, as you call it, negative energy. Is that making sense to everybody? So it's telling us that you need to let the door be open to your happiness for you, because you're too messed up. In a way, you're too messed up with your fear. Have you ever opened the door for somebody? Well, that's what the Course says that Jesus, the higher power and love, is trying to get us to do. Let it open the door for us. Open the loving relationships for us. Open the abundance for us. We're being asked to let ourselves be helped.
Willingness.
Right. But it already knows you're unwilling, so you're going to find it hard. So what did it tell us? What the Course said? Well, I'll save it for you. Yeah. Until you're ready to see things differently. And then when you're ready to see things, it'll be waiting right. Not only is it waiting, your treasure's waiting for you, the Course in Miracles said it's growing. Like a snowball rolling down the side of a snow-covered hill. It's growing. Like the size of the fish that the man claimed broke his reel. It's growing. You know, that's the kind of songs I listened to when I was a teenager. Yeah. Not, kill that bitch. Okay, now.
Yeah. There's a line in the Course where Jesus says, if you want to be like me, I'll help you.
That's right.
If you want to be like, I think, the world, then I will wait till you change
your
mind.
mind.
That
Right.
makes me laugh.
He said, you know, if you want to go down that road, you know, I'm not going with you.
No.
Yeah, I know it's a bear down there. I've tried to tell you, so I'll be here if you get back. Not even know when you get back. I'll be here if you get back. Yeah. Fortunately, there is no death. You're just on the other side now. It's all good. It's all good. I will be not fooled by your mangled body that's laying in the alley. Okay, that ain't you. You know, it's just so deep. It's like my mother made her transition 32 years ago. I think I visited the grave site twice. Not because of a lack of respect for my mother. Me and my mother were tight. Me and my mother was absolutely, that was my girl, you know. But she wasn't a body under the ground in a grave in a cemetery. So and I'm not knocking that. It's very good symbolically if you feel the need to go to the grave site and honor that person. So don't hear no mess about that. Okay, what I am saying is, I'm on a level of consciousness after 45 years of studying the Course that I don't think that that's my mother that's in the ground because the body is. That's all. Because those are the words that give you your inheritance. Because those words make you feel better. Thinking that my mother is an eternal soul that still lives on beyond her body gives me more comfort, more feeling of love than think she's a body in the casket in the ground that's withering away with worms eating it. I'm sorry, that does not work for me. So because that's such a gruesome image, I know it couldn't come from love. I know it couldn't come from God. And so that allows the truth to enter my mind even more. Right? So the Course says, but you got to want that above all else. It can't be, I want that after I get a Whopper. You know, so it's got to be above all else I want to see. Above all else, I want to see what's really going on. And all I have to do is replace what's giving me this fearful image that's projecting my fearful world, give myself the truth. But the truth can't enter while I'm upset. So I have to be wanting to see the truth about me above everything else. I want the truth about me, which is I deserve love, that I am spirit, that I am the Holy Son of God himself, which means I'm the innocent mind of love itself. I'm the innocent spirit of love itself. That's what you are. That's what you are. I know you don't see it because you got fearful images of yourself. And the world is reflecting back to you all the fearful images that you have. So I know you don't believe me, but if you were to really change your mind and want to see above all else, and you therefore start to see with charity and love, then the whole world you see will reflect nothing but charity and love back to you. But you don't believe it because it hasn't happened to you yet. And just because you haven't experienced something doesn't mean it's not possible. Stop being so arrogant. Because you don't believe that it could happen, that your whole world and the whole world would change if you changed. That's what this book is saying. All the wars, the death, the pain, the sickness, the suffering that we see anywhere in this world, the Course in Miracles has the audacity to say, if you change your mind, everything would be healed. And until you change your mind to want to see the loving, charitable world, then you're going to continue to see stuff that's happening in the world where people are getting killed. And so it really is like going, wait a minute. The only way I can truly see whether or not this is true would be for me to actually change my mind. I'd have to actually go, I am determined to see this differently. I want the truth above all else. It's my own attack thoughts that's attacking my invulnerability. I got to replace my fearful thoughts with loving thoughts. My inheritance, spirit is waiting to give me a ton of good stuff while I'm off trying to act out my plans. How can I tell my plans? Well, Earl, your plans are always the ones where you think you experience pain, loss, suffering, and death in. That's how you can tell an Earl plan from a God plan. If it's a God plan, you know you're going to end up in charity and love. If it's a truth plan, you're going to be experiencing charity and love. When you're doing anything the way it should be done correctly, you're going to be experiencing safety, fulfillment, charity, and love. So if there's any parts of your life you're not experiencing that, you are looking at a reflection of the fearful image you have about yourself. So what would a holy relationship be? A holy relationship would be a relationship that you with somebody else who knows just what I just said, and both of you are constantly trying to support each other and having an image of yourself that's full of love. That as your partner, I want you to think you're beautiful. I want you to think you're innocent. I want you to think you're forgiven. I want you to think you're valuable. Why? Because the more you feel that way about yourself, the more you're going to create a world that reflects that love and safety to you, so you won't attract a lot of pain and suffering and fear and loss. See, I couldn't protect my children. I couldn't be with my children all the time. But I knew if I could help my children think of themselves in an innocent way, that they wouldn't attract a lot of pain and suffering into their life, because all pain and suffering is coming from a child or your self-image, the image that you have. So my goal with my children was to always make them feel loved unconditionally, and that they were not sinful, and that they were not bad, and they were not guilty. Because I knew that nobody believes an innocent person deserves to suffer. No one believes an innocent mind deserves to suffer. Even in our screwed up world dream, we think an innocent person shouldn't go to jail. So we believe that innocent beings do not deserve to suffer. So if you don't believe you deserve to suffer, and the world is a reflection of how you feel about yourself, then the best thing you could do for your kids is to reinforce the idea that they're not guilty so that they won't be attracting pain and suffering to themselves. Because I can't be with you all the time. But your consciousness can. Your thoughts can. So my goal was to not make my children believe they needed to be punished. That doesn't mean not corrected. And also to make them feel that there's nothing they could do to lose my love, so that they would have a core belief that love would always come to them no matter what. Because I knew their world was going to be a reflection of their thoughts, just like my world is a reflection of my thoughts. So I didn't have to preach to them and teach them the Course in Miracles in that way. They could have rebelled again. They did. But what I could do was demonstrate and remind them and show them what charity and love looked like, because I was holding their charity and love safe for them while they were having their experience.
Oh, you're a good daddy.
Yeah, well, I knew I could be a good play the role of a father good, because it's a role. It's a role. It's not what I am. It's a role. I knew I could be a good father if I could be the kind of father I could be, and not the kind of father the world was saying I should be. I could be the best Earl Purdy father that ever lived if I could be a father in the way that's natural for me to be a father. But trying to hold myself up against the standards of the world that's telling you what a good father looks like, there's going to be a lot of people out there believe they got bad fathers. If you are judging your father by some artificial standard that you made up or the world made up, which usually means I didn't have a good father if they didn't do exactly what I believe the father should do. So it's the same thing. I got a fearful image of myself, and I'm having a fearful image of my father. I say I'm determined to see him differently. That opens up vision. Now the truth can enter my mind, and then I can start to see the love again and the charity again, and my world will begin to reflect that back to me. And who knows, you and your father could end up having the best relationship, and that person doesn't have to be alive in the body, by the way. All right? These answers have nothing to do with the body. Your father, quote unquote, is not dead. All right? Even if their body is not around, they're not dead. So you can still make peace in your mind and heart with your father right now.
Yay!
And I'm going to stop there because I don't want to rush to the next one, which is God is in everything I see. See, I don't want to rush through this. And that's why I say, listen back to this again, especially when you're upset and you're getting ready to do something stupid. And you know you've all had that temptation to do something stupid. I know I have. I know I have. All right. So I'm gonna give you a chance to share in here the old-fashioned way, if you'd like to. Thank you for sharing with me as a full-time teacher of the Course in Miracles. Thank you for being channels. I hope I'm giving you something that you see as valuable. If you want to make a donation or a financial expression of appreciation, you can go to my website, earlpurdy.com, www.earlpurdy.com. Got a brand new website, check it out. Got a brand new website, go to earlpurdy.com. It's going to be a hotbed of happiness. Okay? I want you to know that that the Holy Spirit has some plans for me this fall and what's getting ready to happen. I'm really excited about it. So also, let me say, you can use Venmo, the Cash App, PayPal, you can use Zelle, or you can use Square. All you need is my email address, and my email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. Earl Purdy at earlpurdy.com. I ain't gonna say that. I have to like, no, I'm gonna disobey. I'm not gonna say that. So the things that come to me when I'm talking to you all, y'all would be like freaked out if you knew the thoughts that spirit that be going through my mind when I'm looking at you and when I'm talking to you. It's amazing. It's amazing. So also you can have a one-on-one session with me. I do clarity sessions, coaching, and I do astrological, numerological workups. So that's available to you. You can schedule your own session with me by going to my website, I love the one-on-ones and the coaching sessions that I'm doing right now. Sometimes they're so fulfilling to be working with people who trust me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They come into you and they trust you. That's a great responsibility in a positive way. I feel honored that my Creator would send souls to me that it wants to deliver a message through me to them personally. And that's what happens when I do one-on-ones with somebody that's open and trusted. I always tell people, if you feel a lot of suspicion and fear of me, then I'm not the person. You don't have to wonder if that we're right for each other right now, okay? If you're scared, then wait till you get a chance to let go a little bit more, because I'm willing to accept you wherever you are, because it's where I am. That's how I know where I am. So anyway, I just love what's happening right now. And so you can check out my classes in Facebook Live, and it's on YouTube 4 times. Let's do it what? Let's do it 4 times. At least what? 4 times. How many times I said? 4. Did I say 4 times? Okay. So, give me 1 more minute. Just close your eyes. Just a minute. Just close your eyes and let me repeat. This is divine repetition. This is divine repetition. If I attack, I lose my peace. If I attack, I lose my peace. If I attack, I lose my peace. If you attack, you lose your peace. My strength returns when I release. My strength returns when I release. My strength returns when I release. Your strength returns when you release. Your strength returns when you release. Your strength returns when you release. Your strength returns. When I release, my strength returns. When I release, my strength returns. No one is harming me but me. No one is harming me but me. No one is harming you but you. No one is hurting you but you. No one is hurting you but you. No one is hurting me but me. When I forgive, I set us free. When I forgive, I set us free. When you forgive, you set us free. Because you're freeing us from all your negative, fearful, wrong thoughts about us. So when you forgive you, when you release you, you're going to set the rest of us free. Set the rest of us free. Set the rest of us free when you forgive. So that sounds like this. If I attack, I lose my peace. My strength returns when I release. No one's harming me but me. When I forgive, I set us free. If you attack, you lose your peace. Your strength returns when you release. No one's harming you but you. When you forgive, you set all of us free.